Class actions. Under Rule 23, an individual or a small group can represent a larger group or a class sharing a common interest in a lawsuit. This usually involves plaintiffs as a class, though defendants can form a class action. The requirements to certify a class: court must find 1. Numerosity, so the class size must be so numerous that joinder is impractical. No exact threshold as to the class size requirements, but it depends on the context of the case claims. 2. Commonality, there must exist questions of law or fact common to the entire case. 3. Typicality, so claims or defenses of the class representatives are typical of that class. 4. Adequacy, so class representatives will fairly and adequately protect interests of the entire class. Representatives must not have conflicts of interest with class members. Class counsel must be competent. Types of class actions. Rule 23b1, anti-prejudice device. Used where actions by or against class members would create a risk of inconsistent decisions or impairment of class interests. Note, uncommon and unlikely to be tested on the MBE. Rule 23b2, injunction or declaratory judgment. This allows class where suits request injunctive or declaratory relief as a primary relief sought, so not damages. Employment discrimination and civil rights cases are examples. Rule 23b3, damages, most common class action type, used where primary relief sought is damages. Requirements are 1. Predominance, common questions of law or fact predominate over individual questions, and 2. Superiority, this is class action is superior to other procedures to resolve the dispute. Class members have opt-out rights. Judgment only binds class members who do not opt out. Notification required. All reasonably identified class members must be notified of pendency of the action, including opt-out rights and rights to appear via separate counsel. Jurisdiction and class action. Personal jurisdiction. Absent class members are not required to meet minimum context requirements. Personal jurisdiction, due process requirements satisfied by reasonable and adequate notice of class members, opportunity to opt out if applicable, and adequate representation. Subject matter jurisdiction. Federal question jurisdiction. Same rules as in individual cases. Diversity jurisdiction. In determining the amount in controversy and citizenship, courts look only to class representatives. Diversity requirements are satisfied if 1. The class representatives are diverse from all opposing parties, and 2. Class representatives' individual claims exceed $75,000. Class Action Fairness Act. Separate means of obtaining subject matter jurisdiction. In class action, jurisdiction exists if 1. Any class member is diverse of any opposing party, and 2. Aggregated claims of the class exceed $5 million. It does not apply to class actions with fewer than 100 class members, shareholder claims against corporate management, and certain state securities law fraud claims. Class action certification, judgment, and settlement. Certification. Court must determine at an early practical time whether to allow the case to proceed as a class action or to certify the class. If a class is certified, the court must 1. Define the class, who can be a class member, the class claims, issues, and defenses. And 2, appoint a class counsel. Class counsel must fairly and adequately represent interests of the class as a whole. Certification can be appealed via interlocutory appeal before final judgment on the merits. Judgment. Binding as to all absent class members unless they opt out if applicable. Settlement. Court must approve any settlement reached between class representatives and opposing party. Settlement must be fair, reasonable, and adequate. Court will seek feedback from absent class members in deciding whether to approve or reject the settlement.